welcome to Everything is the Same Except, a podcast where we take any media we want, alter one thing about that, and then see what would be affected by that one little change. I'm your host, Ninja.
It's over, Cat Comic Studios. I have the high ground.
I'm Chris. This is the first time I've been on one of these in a while.
I'm Nami, or Mac, and you can find me at NamiButch on Twitter.
I'm Manny, and I am constantly in some state of creating something. It is a problem. I need help. Please help me.
I'm Clocky, just in case you thought that there were only 4 guests on this one.
We have so many.
We have a full house.
I was so worried you were about to miss your cue again.
Also,
That was
Gage, your
close.
goof doesn't make any sense. You are Cat Comic Studios. How can it be?
Am I?
Oh,
Maybe
boy.
I'm Cat Comic Studios. You don't
Yeah, you
know.
don't know.
Maybe the real Cat Comic Studios was the friends we made along the way.
I mean, my DeviantArt name's somewhat the same.
Can I be Key to Future's Fate instead?
No, you can be Trinity.
I'm gonna be fighting Dreamers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll all name ourselves after our webcam.
Oh yeah,
All the
Bunny
school
Books,
kids that
the
make a
one that only
webcomic.
existed for like 10 pages.
It was good.
I'm better at animations. Anyway! There's no segue into animation because none of the topics for this week are animations.
Eh,
Oh well.
Star Wars is an edition.
We're all
One of
we're
us
all
has to
animation
become a
nerds.
game designer, that way we can have the segue into Hollow Knight.
is that what we're starting with?
Yeah.
No. Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the first topic of the night is Hollow Knight except pacifist run. So
You know, that's... No, but like...
Isn't that game about like the whole point of it is like you have to like win this, you have to win the fight against the king in combat or something, like someone fighting.
Really?
And that is actually not at all how Hollow
I mean,
Knight
you have-
is, and I think that's kind of hilarious because, well, hashtag massive Hollow Knight spoilers for this podcast here. The king is dead.
Oh,
You're basically dealing
I
with
got
his shit.
distracted.
The objective of the game is you have to punch out the sun.
oh,
That's
Been
bad.
there.
Yes.
wow, I can't
So
believe this is just a
chill.
Steven Universe AU.
Punch the monarchy.
punch out the sun. So you wouldn't have to punch out the sun. You wouldn't be able to punch out the sun in this pacifist run.
Making everybody zombies.
Whatever that means.
How are you dealing with the zombies?
Also, why don't we
Yeah.
just healer?
How would that...
Hmm.
Yeah, see, I don't... The problem is... options in the game where you can spare people because they're mostly trying to kill you.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
but
more than mostly trying to kill you. They're mostly dead.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
not
zombie-
saying it like, oh, it's the exact same game. Like, okay, the whole point of,
You rebuild it.
yeah. So you're
Oh.
starting with the same framework, but obviously there's still aspects of the game you're going to have to change. Like, what do we have to change to make it a pacifist run?
See, now I've got an idea. I've got an idea here. So, scrapped concept originally in the game was called dream diving, where basically you would go through platforming levels inside of people's dream worlds. And
So
you
Psychonauts, but a
Interesting.
2D platformer.
Just had to resist a Kingdom Hearts joke there.
well,
All I can think of is my
also,
series.
I'm thinking maybe that
Hollow
would be
Kingdom
that
Hearts.
that you would spare all of the people that you fight, because instead you just go in their minds and punch a bunch of stuff in there. It's like figments of their thoughts.
Yeah.
So, like, the most
Would be a
violent
way how you
possible...
could spare the zombie people, because you just fight them. You just
Like-
engage them with dreams.
That just makes me think, oh, so a super violent AU of Inside Out.
God.
Wow.
Well,
Fight your
Bug
thoughts.
crashes into your brain, like running around for the nail, just like smacking a bunch of citrus out of your brain.
maybe Ghost would not be wielding a nail, and at this point he'd be throwing around flowers or something.
Hey,
Oh,
Yeah, they'd be
cute.
throwing around flowers or
Like
something.
flower is not
What if
weapon
it was
material.
like a
Please don't
fruit?
weaponize it. The point is that if you take literally any damage, it explodes. Is it you?
Grow flowers. We should grow flowers in Hollow Knight. I'd play it more if it was like that.
Ooh.
And also if it wasn't hard.
Same.
Same. Well,
Hornet
killing
telling
wise,
us-
I won't play it.
that's just a really interesting prospect because so much of Hollow Knight is based around survival and kind of ideas about what it takes to survive and what you
Yep.
need to
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like Undertale in that regard, but it ultimately does see it as an unfortunate necessity in some cases, but it's never happy this life. And and a lot of people in a Hollow Nest are pretty messed up because of it.
Okay, hold on. So, from a mechanical perspective, I assume that, literally speaking, you only have to defeat the bosses, correct? Are there like only a few situations where you need to defeat enemies?
There's some like crap rooms
No,
where
I
you're
mean-
locked inside of an area with like
Right.
arguably a mini boss that's just a wave of normal enemies. But unless you're going for like pure completion ending, you don't really pure completion. You don't really need at any point to kill everything in your path. And actually, many of the bosses are themselves optional.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's definitely
Well, ultimately-
you work with
I'm getting those worms.
The alternative is the idea I had for playable Zote, which
Oh, I'm getting
is a lot less deep and a lot funnier.
Go on.
Go on. Yes.
So
Yeah.
Zote canonically navigates Hollow Nest somehow, possessing a nail that is actually unable to damage any enemies.
Yeah.
Maybe he's able to do damage to something, we don't know. But as far as we know, he is unable to damage anything. Interesting thing is that he gets around pretty good, actually, anyway, so I was wondering what the heck that looks like, and this led to my speculation that Zote is in fact a stealth-based fighter.
I remember this
The
conversation.
idea being, if you're Zote running it, basically it shifts from a fighting game to a stealth game where, like, if anything catches you, it will kill you. But the question is, it has to get you first.
So now it's Metal Gear Solid?
Now it's Watership Down.
I got
That's
I
more
think it would
depressing.
actually be Dishonored, because, okay, Dishonored is a game in which you play as someone who went to jail for killing the queen when you weren't the one that did that. And the game has essentially, I believe it's 3 different ways that you can play it. One is you just go out and kill literally anything and everything. Like every single person you see in your way, you kill them. The other is a sort of mix of like stealthing around, avoiding killing some people, and killing others. And then the other is a more pacifist route, but the problem with it is, okay, one, you're not doing like a full kill on pretty much anything, because a lot of the, like, it's a choice if you want to attack this enemy or just like avoid them, run around, and thus it affects how the city reacts to it, because if you're doing a lot of just, hack and slash, I'm not gonna stealth this, it becomes like infested with plague and great googly moogly, it's all gone to shit. So that's kind of what this whole stealth thing reminds me of, is that game, just because it is so hard to stealth, especially when you're starting out. But if you want like the area to be nice and clean and not plague infested, you have to not kill everyone. It's so tempting though. It is so tempting.
Can you destroy any bits of the plague in the game? Besides just the thing that it possesses?
I don't think so, Clocky.
In
Yeah,
Hollow Knight, technically you do defeat the source of the plague, but that's the final boss and that's the
Oh.
end of the game.
I was wrong.
you are fist fighting. That's why you're fist fighting the sun, because the sun is eating everyone's brains.
Yes.
Oh. God, that's so cool. What the fuck?
I'll take what-
All right.
Yeah, like
Any thoughts on this from your end?
What?
Your end, Manny?
I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing.
Okay.
I'm
Everything
just
I know
taking
about
it
Hollow
at
Knight
face
is
value
wrong.
because I mean, like, I barely know the game, so I'm just like,
Okay.
Just know Hornet's a lesbian, and like
Yes.
that's it.
Yeah. Might
Well, we
be,
don't for
based
sure
on what we've
know,
seen
but
from
I just
Silksong.
know that, like, with Silksong, yeah, and with the interactions with her rival, it's like it's
She's gay.
moderately gay activity, yes.
I don't care. Even if the creators
My
come
brother
down and they're
is a
just like,
Hollow
no,
Knight
she's
fan.
straight as her needle, I'd be like, no.
Okay. Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
changing
you know,
my
there's
pick
not
solely
multiple canon.
based on what he just said.
It's not canon, but it's canon.
I mean, like, they've got canonical couples in this that are like,
Yeah.
like you can you know, get a guy a new life passion by getting him a boyfriend.
Oh.
Aw.
Yeah. And it's very
That's an actual
precious.
thing that they do, and they're one of the happiest.
Yeah.
They're some of the happiest people. So like,
Gay rights.
TV's
Could-
freaking out.
You're right.
could we just turn Hollow Knight into a dating sim?
That would make it pacifist.
Oh no, Gage. That reminds me of the. Remember the bug dating sim?
Yes.
Oh my
But
gosh.
it got
but Ninja-
canceled.
But Ninja, we can rebuild it. Gestures over at Hollow Knight.
I did make a joke once about the
God.
Godmaster DLC expanded your dating options.
Hollow
Yes.
Heart Knight.
I feel like my personal two cents on that bad boy would be like, I feel like, because Ghost is baby. Ghost.
Well, it's not Ghost that's doing the dating. Ghost is like the intermediary, the Cupid,
Yeah.
if you will.
Ghost is like
So you just
getting
suggest a
blocked.
Ghost just as like setting a bunch of people up with each other.
Yes.
Hollow Heart Knight. You're a knight of hollow hearts, and you're helping solve.
Oh. Yes.
Oh, that would be valid.
Heart
That'd be-
Knight.
That'd be a cute puzzle platformer, and you can also make it really fucking hard by having it still be like the environment wants to kill you, but you have to get these civilians to each other, even if they live very far away.
Oh man!
So like
this
that
is
Donald
making
and
me
Daisy
sad, like,
segment
Broken
from
Flower
Fantasia
Collection.
2000.
You bring couples back together that are separated and help inspire new love.
Like Ham Ham Heartbreak, except like death metal edition.
Yes.
Ham what?
It's a Hamtaro thing. Get with it.
Oh. Sorry. Most of what I remember of Hamtaro is the theme song and the befuddled Toonami promo.
That's all you need to
They're
remember.
cute, I guess.
It's
Welcome
okay.
back to Hamtaro.
I got a DVD of it from the library, actually just today. So after this, all we're gonna do is watch Hamtaro.
Hell yeah.
That's fine.
None of you have a choice.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Taro good. I haven't
like-
watched any of it, but I.
But I mean, you gotta like,
Steering us back on track somewhat.
yeah, like the flowers. Like we can still. My idea with the flowers can still exist.
Yeah.
Yes. I love
Uh,
dating.
I have
Okay, but
never dated.
counterpoint. I feel like I went through enough pain trying to get the delicate flower to the grave in the first place.
Mhm.
Like, I haven't even done. I haven't gotten Embrace the Void as an ending. Like, it's gonna be worse. I'm gonna have to get it past the giant slamming, cackling worms. Flower to Godseeker because I don't want her to melt.
Sometimes love be like that, okay?
Yes.
Either way, we're ending up with a harder version of the game, and considering Hollow Knight already as a thing,
Yes.
I'd be buck wild. Let's do it.
Yeah.
My brain is just locked on the mental image of Hornet just wearing like a little Cupid costume, but still like standing there holding the tablet. It's just get good on it.
Mhm.
Oh.
When the ghost dies, would their soul become like a little heart instead? That you have to fight, I guess. I don't know how that would work mechanically.
No, you have to give it a kiss.
There you go.
Have a
That's
mouth.
so cute.
Random truck noise.
You can give things a kiss without having a mouth. You just like put, you know, your
Like a
face
cat
near it.
head bump.
Like Waddle
Headbutt.
Dee. Waddle Dee can give a kiss.
Yes, head bump.
It's so cute.
Yeah. That'll work.
Adorable.
All
No,
right.
it could also be like ghosts instead of like I guess ghosts could still die in certain circumstances, but like part of it could be you're finding other people's souls and like bringing them back so that they can, you know, be alive and find love again. I don't know, maybe.
This is okay, but this is really surreal given that a major thematic motif of Hollow Knight is basically making peace with death.
Who is eating on the podcast?
I'm sorry. I was moving a bag around.
You got 2 strikes, Manny.
I'm
I'm not-
sorry.
I'm already so fucking mad at you about the Star Wars shit from
We'll get
before
to
the
that.
podcast.
We'll get to
Wait.
that.
Anyway, what were you saying, Clocky?
But like so much about Hollow Knight is basically about making peace with death.
Mhm.
So like one, if you retain that theme,
Hey.
it would be unbelievably, take your soul out of your jugular sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
There is like I can't believe that our solution to making Hollow Knight pacifist run is just make it a dating sim.
And it still
That
ends up
would-
sadder.
That would make it more pacifist. Dating
Yeah,
sims are inherently pacifist.
I mean, if you even want to get really
I don't know.
sad,
Most of the
I've seen some dating sims out there.
well, if
Most
you
of
want
the
to make
time.
it really sad, you could even have like a few characters that are very sick. So like those missions are timed.
Oh,
But
that is.
either way, at the end of
Woof.
it,
Hex my ruler.
I'm getting some To the Moon flashbacks. Oh boy.
Oh, God. Why did you have to remind me of that?
just
That game made me
remember,
cry.
I can still make you very emotional, even though I normally enjoy very cute things, and I don't
Yes!
like to cry.
There's still gonna be
Alright.
lots of cute bugs holding hands. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Holding many hands because bugs. Get it?
Well, I mean, most of them in a Hollow Knight don't have a ton of hands, actually. Most of them just have 2.
Who the fuck's
I think that's right, Clocky?
Yeah,
Remembering
there's
that
a couple
correctly?
of
He's
things.
getting
that take
arrested.
time. We don't know how many. We don't
TV
know
show.
how many arms Hera had, but
Oh, right.
But Hera has a bunch of limbs, and we don't know, are they hands or are they legs? We don't know. Because Hera was busy being in a coma the entire time. Odd questions.
I don't think I
All
have
right.
that. Anyway,
Anyway, I'm pretty content with that one. I feel like we've
feel like we've
milked that horse
exhausted
about as
it.
far as it's going to go.
Yes.
Very cute. Love.
Alright, so what's our next topic, Ninja?
next one is Star Wars, except lightsabers can only get dagger sized.
Wait,
Like,
lightsabers
So
are
that
only
lad with the 4 lightsabers or the dual-sided lightsabers are absolutely useless.
Yes.
Just like, I'm gonna be so deadly with these lightsabers, and he pulls them out, and then like tiny swords.
I
Do
mean,
you mean
could,
General Grievous?
it goes to like
you could still have spears, I
vamp the whole
suppose,
ass
but like
series.
the
because,
length.
like it would have to be like.
You
Like, I
have to
feel like
completely
the objective here would just be to make everything go. Yeah, just re-choreograph everything and just have it just be like, you know what?
Yeah.
we're going here?
Funny as shit.
I feel like the way that
Read on each
Jedi
other
would
here.
be approached would also be different because with
yeah, the
smaller
way the big
weapons,
fight
they'd
would
have to
be
take a more roguelike approach, right?
Exactly.
right.
This is exactly what I'm
Damn it.
saying, Hami.
Yeah.
You're understanding it.
I can't believe you're saying something smart to this dumb idea.
I mean, you could also have them be like spears rather than swords.
Well, that's like a Sith thing because that's lame.
Yeah, they sit there lame because they're like
Halberds are
ranged.
great. Halberds are they're great and unbelievably cool. Spears are unbelievably cool.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, that's
Yeah, but
valid.
it's still a Sith thing because you're not as connected to your lightsaber because it's so far
Ooh,
away.
ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Ooh. You're not connected. You're holding it away from you. You're holding it away.
There's some.
You're-
Nami does bring a good point though, because they'd have to be Jedi's would have to end up being more like rogues, and I feel like that would fundamentally change their ideology too, because
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, you could have quote unquote sword fights with knives, but it would look goofy as
They're just
shit.
knife fights. They're
Knife
more like
fights?
It'd be like they'd be
Knife fights
punching each other.
exist.
Yeah, but if you're
Punching
using
each
a
other with
knife,
swords.
if you're swinging a knife the same way you would swing a sword, it would look goofy.
And most knife
Right.
fights are like,
Stab, stab.
greaser, gang battle, kinda.
I feel like we should
No,
just
I mean,
incorporate
there's
that
knife-
entire aesthetic into Star Wars here.
There's not that many knife fights between, like, armies.
I mean, Quacky, that's really not that far off, because, like, I mean, George Lucas's film before, American Graffiti, which was about like 50s nostalgia and stuff, and that kind of aesthetic, and
It's
some
also
of
about
you
knife fights.
had a knife fight, but I mean, and a lot of that aesthetic is still kind of in. At least the original. I mean, look at Luke's land speeder is kind of, it's this old beat up car basically.
Oh.
So really, you wouldn't just to get that aesthetic in there.
A lot of Star Wars was, at least to my
Same, but
understanding.
imagine Yoda with a pompadour, though.
Thank you. Yes, first of all, a lot of it was inspired by like samurai stuff, to my knowledge, or at least
There were
the.
a bunch of different inspirations. There was
Yes,
samurai. There was 30s. There was like film serials from the 30s and 40s, like Flash Gordon. That was originally what Lucas wanted to make. He wanted to make a legit, but nobody would give him the rights. So
Yeah,
he
so he
said,
made his own thing.
Yes, exactly.
So right, my point being here though, is that what would be the inspiration for making Jedi basically have these fucking tiny lightsaber daggers?
And
Power
Snap.
conservation.
No, I mean what real life inspiration?
Oh,
Because I don't think samurai went around
Knife
fucking
fight.
knifing people.
oh, I mean, short
Ninjas!
swords-
Pussy samurai did. Oh, ninjas. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, ninja.
All the Jedi being ninjas would be dope, actually.
See?
And again, you
Oh,
wouldn't
my
have
brain
to
just
change
gone
a
to
lot
Yoda
about
Naruto running.
Go to what?
Naruto running.
Oh my!
God.
I think he's done that canonically at least once.
Fuck.
First, I wasn't prepared emotionally for this information, and I just want to apologize.
I'm trying to think.
No, I
think
said I
Chris-
think. I'm not sure.
No,
But
like,
he's definitely.
I swear that was a thing now. We could
I
be
know.
totally off the mark, but oh my god. Like, I feel like that is a thing that happened.
There's enough Star Wars shit that I'm sure somebody fucking Naruto ran at some point.
I just found it in point of fact.
Hell yeah.
Alright, I'm putting it.
But,
I'm
okay.
excited to see the Naruto.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Oh
the
my
shit.
god.
I don't see it.
I put it in the chat for podcast call stuff.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, we actually have a proper channel for this instead of just a group chat.
Yeah.
We're
No
like,
different. But I think my absolute favorite thing is the very suspicious looking mollusk in the elevator. It's like, God damn it, not General Grievous again.
I love that. I also, Ninja, I assume you're putting it in the episode, but I also really love that, like, nobody really seems concerned that much, and even General Grievous is like, oh, what are you going to do with that? And he doesn't really react.
Yeah.
They're like, ooh, what's this?
I would fucking kill to hear General Grievous saying.
What's this? I don't know him that well. I'm sorry.
God, Jonathan.
I gotta not
my
show
God.
that clip too much though, because we might get like demonetized. Even though
It
I'm
could-
not getting money for this yet, but you know, I don't want the video
Yeah, I
taken
could
down.
do. You could do like a GIF of the run for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I did longer than that, but yeah.
Well, like just enough to get the idea of that he does do it, and then just like cut it out.
Yes.
Thank God. But yeah, okay, I like the idea of the Jedi as ninjas, but then... So their ideology then, like... I feel like they cannot keep their same, like, ideology.
Well,
Yeah, because the
you would
Jedi
have
has
to
a very
change
knight in
that
shining armor
considerably.
kind of aesthetic, so like
Yeah.
it would be very. I mean, they could easily keep that because it definitely would not be the first time people have been very weird about the idea of character of occupations that were historically not good people,
Mhm.
but being imagined as like heroic anime protagonists. See One Piece, see Naruto, see
Anime.
just a whole lot of things. Not even just anime.
I
Like
mean,
we
we
can't
just-
pin this on.
Yeah, we like even in here in America, we like do that with pirates all the time. You know,
Oh,
kids
yeah.
having like pirate themed birthday parties. Yay!
Or like pirate cartoons where
Pirate
where a literal career pirate unironically looks in the camera and says, "And remember, kids, stealing is wrong."
Wait, what?
Yep.
You can never land pirates.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
The important thing... I mean, to be fair, the Jedi are already, like, at least vaguely hypocritical in some cases.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was.
definitely.
I mean, that
Yeah.
was supposed to be the
Like,
idea
what-
of the
what-
prequels
what-
and those storylines is that they.
They're fucking idiots.
Fair.
Maybe the
What-
implication
what did you
would
say,
be, like
Clark?
this would have, maybe this could have like interesting implications about like the origin of the Sith and the concept of the dark side, because it's like you basically have like organization of people that are having a massive identity crisis, basically, because you have people who are like, no, we have this position of power now, we must be altruistic and use it kindly and these sorts of things, and the other people who are like, buddy, we're assassins,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we have knives, we have laser knives, this is how we are.
Yeah. Because, I
Like,
mean,
they
this...
maybe started out as an organization of assassins, but like as they became so influential and so entrenched, a lot of them kind of tried to clean their hands of it, and like they culturally
Yeah.
happened over a long ass period of time across generations. Like culturally, this idea of like, well, but we're good guys now, we don't do this, and they have forgotten basically how to be sneaky or even remotely practical with their tiny knives.
friendly assassins.
You gotta admit though, it would be pretty sick for like, you know, the whole throwing the projectiles back kind of thing that they do with the swords.
Ooh,
That
yeah.
looks really cool when someone just has a knife and is doing that.
They
Yeah.
could probably just... It would probably... You know what? It'd be really stupid, but I would love to see them slicing laser bolts in half. It doesn't make any sense, but I want to see it.
Okay, Gage, I think we all want to see that.
Good.
You could have switchblades.
Yes. I mean, hell,
Switchblade sabers.
rolling out one now.
You could have very ornate daggers. You could have switchblades. You could have cleavers.
And wait, hang on. Isn't a lightsaber dagger a switchblade by default?
Shut up. You're right, but shut up.
You know what I meant though. Like you twist the hilt around and you can do like cool flips with it.
I'm sorry,
that
my
seems
brain
like
just
a
goes
very
to like
great.
my brain just spat out like recreating that one memed bit from that one thing where the guy like is like, "Be careful, my knife has pledged sting," and he like does the cool guy licking things 5 seconds after he explained that it's poisonous. Just goes, "I shouldn't have licked it," and then just drops dead.
That full
Like
scene
I'd have
was
been
pretty fun.
bad doing that with lightsaber.
That is a great scene.
The full scene of it is like he drops his knife like 2 times while trying to do sick flips with it, and then does the knife lick thing.
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen the full
Nice.
scene, but like my point was like somebody trying to lick a lightsaber knife, because on the one hand, if they just did it without flinching, it would be like, whoa.
But also,
And the other
burn.
person just
Hand.
being like, someone else does it and is like, oh, I have severely burnt my tongue. Pass out.
Or just like trying to be badass and just like, this is a mistake.
Or they lick it and go, "Meow."
I do. So
Oh, I shouldn't have done that with my scissors.
okay.
Oh boy.
I
Who's
want.
distracted now?
Ominous thing to say, Ninja.
I think what I
licked my
find.
scissors and I think I cut my tongue.
God damn it, Ninja.
No. No.
Yeah.
I was trying to do Foley work and I was a fool.
Why? Why would you do that?
I mean, I totally get it. Mood.
Lucky, what?
I would do that.
I did that a few times.
Jesus Christ.
Well, not that specifically, but I've done decisions very similar to that and then like regretted it a second later, like, oh fuck.
Listen,
believe
I'm
it
the
took-
idiot who licked a flagpole when it was freezing outside twice.
Yeah, why was I surprised? Holy shit.
Gotcha.
This is
Oh
everything
my
is the same
God.
as the podcast for extremely intelligent people.
This
Yes.
This is proof it's an idiot podcast, everyone. I
Oh
cut my
my God.
tongue licking scissors just for a goof.
I love you guys so much.
I love everybody in this bar right
I
now.
feel like we should roll to the next topic before Chris versus brain cells.
Hold on. One last thought, though.
Okay,
You know
Ninja,
how-
the cage, please save us. Please.
Shut up. You know how the Padawans in the prequels they give them like slightly smaller lightsabers?
Oh my god, they have little kid-sized daggers like
Alright.
butter knives.
Yeah, they got butter
Oh my
knives.
god.
That means for the younglings you can totally do. What do you have?
No! I love that meme so much.
Would they be called would they be called light knives or would they still be sabers?
Knife sabers.
But like
Fucking damn
they're
it.
lights. The light part is important. That part's staying. Is it still a saber if it's like a baby like
No,
Knife
it's a
blade?
dagger.
They wouldn't know the difference.
light dagger?
Or
They'd be like, this is a
Light
lightsaber. And then some other space lads like, oh
I
shoot.
feel like
They
the space
probably
people
have-
know what a saber is.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like before lightsabers they had actual knives and like swords and shit.
Graduated from that.
And then they figured out how to do it with light.
Yeah, basically.
Listen, knives. Come on, you gotta admit, knife saber. Like, come on, that's great wordplay. It's
It's
No,
My brain just goes to the
not.
one of
Like-
goes to like the meme post about knife stick. So like one person like, people don't know about my knife saber. It's a lightsaber, but it's a knife size. And it's the ultimate weapon. And someone says, "You mean a light dagger?"
Blocked.
blocked.
They wouldn't know what blocked means, but at the same time. I mean,
Now I'm just thinking about Jedi Twitter.
Jedi
God damn it.
Twitter.
Given
Only
my
for Jedi.
estimation of the Jedi Order, I feel like Jedi Twitter would just be like sort of like the weird Christian memes.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's so true.
They're more based off of like Buddhism overall, so I imagine it'd be. I don't know what Buddhist memes are, but if that's a thing, I want to get on that immediately.
that has to be a thing. Anyway.
Just fucking visit monastery in Tibet and just be like, so what are your memes like?
To your sick Buddhist memes. And then they'll just like look you dead in the eye and be like, "You are not worthy of the memes."
I mean, I know what
We've
computers
studied for
are.
years.
There's probably actually like Tibetan monks that are on Twitter.
The Dalai Lama has a Twitter account, if I'm not mistaken.
So
I'm
yeah,
probably
they,
on
they
Twitter.
know. Anyway.
Follow who on Oh, right. That one.
Anyway.
I want to see Anakin's Twitter.
Passive
In the
aggressive
AU or
subtweets.
in the official Star Wars? Both?
Is there a wrong answer though?
There.
Probably not.
Are we ready for the next one?
Always.
Yes.
Sure.
Always,
Wait,
Gage.
which one is-
Okay.
Oh, it's the one I know about.
Yeah, the last one is Adventure Zone, specifically the balance arc, because if you know about Adventure Zone, there is balance and amnesty, at least as we're recording. I think they might do one after it, but I don't know.
I feel like they definitely are. They've said they have stuff planned.
I think it was alleged that Travis is going to be hosting the next one.
I
So
really hope.
anyway-
I mean, it's
I really hope it's Rust. I really like Rust.
big thing now, so no reason to
Yeah.
stop the gravy train.
So
Oh, yeah,
anyway, as of
especially, like,
recording,
the-
there's just balance
right?
and amnesty and like the one-offs they did between the two.
Yeah.
Which are kind of AUs mostly of balance, but they did some other stuff recently apparently on
Okay.
their
Yeah.
little monster tour.
So anyway, it's Adventure Zone balance, except the main party is Loop, Lucretia, and Davenport.
There is an
Boy.
there is an AU someone thought up of this, but I cannot for the life of me remember how it goes.
I remember
that.
one where it was like their love interest swap, but no, this is good.
I like this though.
Okay, so I'm sorry,
Okay, so
which
what
one? It's-
classes would they all be? That's an
Hold on,
important-
hold on. Who is the trio again this time? It's Loop, who, and what?
Loop, Lucretia,
Barry, and
and
Lucretia.
Davenport.
Loop, Lucretia, and Davenport.
Oh,
Okay.
those three.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I want you to know that
still-
until the exact moment of this podcast, I thought his name was pronounced Davenport.
Davenport.
Why did you think that?
And I had never heard it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
guessed.
heard Davenport before. So
Davenport?
Yeah.
Davenport.
Davenport, read the room.
Davenport.
God, no!
I'm not even sure how that would
Why-
go. I think that would be like a
you have to rearrange
like,
a lot of the plot stuff.
spoilers. There's a lot of spoilers that I'm about to spout. Barry's like a still with the same lich.
Yep.
Yeah.
That shit's still happening.
Well, yeah, my immediate question is, are Trey's horny boys still involved in this story somehow?
Yes.
Yeah. I could only assume like they'd just be in different spaces.
Are we just like reversing the roles? Is it like that's
Yeah,
Taco
what's-
trapped in the
what-
Umbra staff now, or?
Well, we
Yeah.
could like figure out if stuff is different.
That's true.
Like
I feel
I'm
like that would be it.
sure that these people would be different classes.
I still like the idea, though, of... I don't know who would play Davenport, but, like...
Taco. Taco. Taco.
Justin.
Yeah, I think Justin would play Davenport, and, like, make it a goof of, haha, my character can only say his name.
Oh no. That's
Not knowing the implications until much later.
Yep! Just like, haha, I'm gonna make this
God.
goof character, his name is Davenport.
and he can only say Davenport.
Yep.
And that's like a joke. But then it becomes, oh my god!
Yep.
Ah, you're mine!
Yep.
And then like I think Travis would be Luke.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
Travis
think
would be
Travis being Luke makes sense. Ooh, and then
Luke feels like a very Travis character to play.
Yeah.
and
But that means that
Wait,
we're gonna have
Lucretia played by
Lucretia.
Clint McElroy.
yeah,
Hmm.
which to be fair, I guess not the worst possible casting, because if only like I don't know,
They're
he's
both
old. He
old.
could play an old person. Yeah,
oh,
that's
but
ageist,
what,
but you know.
Would Lucretia still be old?
I mean,
Probably.
No, because remember,
Oh.
her whole
Oh, yeah.
thing of aging was caused by. Okay, just lots of spoilers for Adventure Zone
Her aging was
Balance.
caused by the.
If you don't want spoilers
Wonderland.
for Adventure Zone Balance, just
What are you doing
stop.
on this podcast?
Just
Yeah.
stop listening right now. It's okay. You can listen next week.
After you've
I
caught
still
up
love
enough.
you.
You had
Or
two
looked at a
great
synopsis.
times listening to two other things. But we're gonna spoil the shit out of Tails Balance. I almost said Bamnesty, and I'm like, wait.
Amnesty. I love
I'm just
it.
imagining that little B like that everyone puts on words sometimes. It's like Bamnesty.
Bamnesty.
Now I'm just, and then you said B, and my mind, forever cursed, went to B movie. Damn
Oh, that's
reason.
great.
That's not
On
the
loss
A
of
you were
aviation,
making.
there is no reason a podcast should be able to stay on the topic.
Kaz B movie.
Anyway, where was I going with this? Okay, so the
Okay.
reason Lucretia...
We're gonna spoil it, yes.
Yeah, the reason Lucretia had, like, the aging thing was from the,
We're
what?
going out and doing some dumb shit.
Yeah, but
It was
specifically
from
Wonderland
uh,
and the...
you know,
Yeah.
Those
the
two
thing,
elves.
torture. There's a lot
Yeah.
of torture at the torture place.
So it doesn't really work if, one, she has no memories of, like, the items before, because she then is not going to go out there and try to retrieve it and, you know, age herself. Like, that's not going to happen.
Although
Yeah, like
that will be a thing when they go into Wonderland, though.
Yes.
She will
But that's-
absolutely age, but that will be like because it's like a constant.
Yeah.
But that's much later in the story.
Oh no, that means Magnus is the one that gets aged, though. Like, please, play with me in the space. Although
Oh my
Magnus
God.
also running the organization is kind of buck fucking
Wait.
wild.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like understand.
about-
Like, I'm still confused as to like, you say that Trace Horny Boys are still involved, but I'm not clear if like it's a role switch thing or if they're just in the
It's kind of-
background.
What would be their story purpose?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
Yeah.
it would be more of a role reversal.
I feel like role reversal was funny here because you guys were already talking about like the idea of like, as you say, it would be buck wild.
Yeah, I
Who
think
heads the Bureau of Balance then? Because it's pretty funny no matter which of
Like
the
it
three
would
you
be
pick.
Merle. I feel like it'd be funny if it was Merle, from what I remember of him.
oh yeah,
Merle Plant
Yeah.
Fucker High Church? Okay.
I mean, like that would be like a thing. I guess like in the plot, it could be like one of those like, "Hi, you know, I'm just being all silly and stuff."
hmm
So
But
Meg-
like,
okay.
he's genuinely like broken up by it.
Yeah. Hear me out. So then we still have Magnus in like the Davenport role because
Oh.
hear me out. He didn't get his memories erased, but he went with Merle to try and get the bell back. And he ends up getting himself not only like aged for a bit, but then he ends up still put into the mannequin. So that's why
Fuck.
they don't recognize him, and you know their brains don't really connect it because they're just like, haha, it's a funny mannequin. And then
Oh
it
my
is
God.
revealed that, oh no, this was one of our friends who literally lost his fucking body.
Yeah.
So, like,
Woof.
he's been trapped in the mannequin for years.
Where the island
your
are.
brain.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
god.
only thing that I care about is that Garfield the Deals Warlock doesn't change at all.
Oh god, no.
Oh, that's
Garfield
obviously-
a
still
constant.
has Magnus's body for some reason, and just
Yeah, don't
nobody
worry
else
about it.
realized it.
Until like the penultimate
Wait.
battle, which is like when everyone gets together or something finally.
I have a goof.
Yep.
Go on.
What if? Okay, Garfield's the Deals Warlock does change,
Okay.
but it's normal. Normal. That's the only difference. It has nothing to do with anything else. It'd just be funny.
Yeah.
I hate
like
that
it.
exactly the right way.
That's perfect.
Oh, this is decent. Okay, but then where does that leave Taco?
I still think he's trapped in the umbrella.
Yeah.
So they're both trapped in it.
No.
No, Loop is no
Oh,
longer
right,
in
because
town.
Loop is the character.
Loop
right,
is
yep.
great.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure that I have this down for when we run this.
Bruh.
I would provoke the McElroy brothers to break into our house and fight us.
It's a
I don't know which house
They
this
probably
is.
To be to be
probably
fair, they're running
seen
D&D,
your
so like I'm sure there's some copyright bullshit there that's already in. We're fine. I'm sure it's fine.
I feel like this is underestimating the raw chaotic power of the McElroy brothers.
Always.
Yes.
But that's the fun of it.
What if it's still Lucretia who put the notebooks into
Oh
the
my
tank?
god.
But
she screwed up.
But the only reason Merle remembers is because he got a vision from Pan, who was like, "Shit, you have to do this right now." And he's like, "Okay, I'm not gonna question my god." And Lucretia fucks it up and doesn't drink it too. And he doesn't realize that that's the connection. That's the reason he can remember.
Oh my god.
So
He's just
when
like,
she...
"Oh, maybe it's just my god did this. Can I get your blessing?" And he's like, I can't do anything, Merle." And he's like, "Shit!"
You know, this would actually be really interesting because. Oh, wait, is Manny actually talking or is?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, okay.
I
This
got
would be-
stuff going on back there.
This would be really interesting to me because in Adventure Zone Prime,
Mhm.
I don't think does Lucretia ever actually have a moment to this talk with John.
No.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. Because it'd be Lucretia probably doing the conversations with John now, and granted
I
she
think it'll
doesn't.
probably still run the same.
She doesn't have her role at the Bureau of Balance, but it would be really cool to me if there was some Bureau of Balance figure that was talking to John, or the leader rather.
What was your idea, Ninja?
Ninja?
I'm stuck on the fact of oh my god, that means that Merle talked with John and was still like, "No, we gotta still keep it away," even though he still remembers all of that, and Lucretia still interacts with John once in a while and didn't.
Oh my god.
Because it's Merle is torn between this person that he kind of considers a friend in a way, but also is just hey, fuck you, and would probably be extremely upset that he remembers all of his interactions and all of this. He remembers everything, but he's Merle, who's also he would be filled with so much regret of the fact that he didn't get to learn that much about his teammates because he was always with John.
Oh.
Oh my
And
god.
what Lucretia was trying to do. My idea is that maybe in her her whole thing where she was writing down journals to make sure everything was everyone forgot the right things. She kind of slipped up and forgot herself a little bit in some of these cases. And for reasons unknown, she's just able to get back to square one kind of and to the start of the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it would be something that would be figured out later, but she just suddenly just is back where she started in the campaign lore. She just comes up out of nowhere, but in reality she just kind of somehow got to that point.
But imagine the impact on the story if she continues to write journals and writes down all of the things that she's experiencing, and then you get to the end and it's "Oh, Lucretia, you've done that before. You've written things down before.
Oh,
That's
God.
the reason you don't remember."
God.
That would be some shit. That would be God.
I have a twist to this knife.
Go on.
Yes.
To this, you mean knife saber?
Go ahead. Twist.
Who is faintly aware of the absence, is missing memories,
Oh my
so she
God.
writes them. So she keeps journals specifically because of that, not realizing that she's recreating her past behavior.
Oh no!
Wait, what is she? But
She-
she's what's
She
her
has
best?
problems remembering things, so she writes them down to help her remember.
Oh,
Right, like the
my
idea of being her
God.
being the one who erased the things means that she has a dim sense. She has a sense of the stuff that was missing.
Ooh,
And
ow.
stuff
Yeah,
that
that's
she
nice.
Oh
That's
my
nice.
God. Like, she meets Luke and Davenport and is like, I swear we've met before.
they're like, are we sure? Are you sure?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's nice and painful.
Anyway, what classes is everyone?
Ooh, have we figured that out?
No.
No.
we just fucking dived deep into
Wait
the
until
sad
more.
well.
I'm not good at figuring out classes.
I feel like this one would be very well. No, the
Yeah.
Trace Running Boards is like 2/3 mages too, I suppose.
I feel like
Actually,
Lucretia
be
should be
kind
like
of the
some
same
sort of
makeup.
wizard.
Are you suggesting Davenport's a wizard? Or
No,
a
Davenport
warrior?
would be like the warrior class.
Davenport, yeah.
Nah,
I guess-
Davenport's a rogue.
Yeah, that works
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Loop is definitely still a wizard.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Um,
What does that leave Lucretia as? Because I know she absolutely has a sage background, for sure. Absolutely has a sage background.
yeah.
We're going with, like, bare bones stuff.
She could be the cleric, and her thing is Istis.
There you go.
Fuck, yes.
Yes.
I'm not
I love
biased,
this.
having played a cleric of Istis.
This is great.
This is just a good idea, Ninja. Thank you.
Yeah.
And now, for the rest of time, you could just drop any ideas that you get on Nami, because like this seemed to hit Nami really hard.
It's good shit.
It's good shit.
I used to be really fixated on balance for a while. So I'm like, oh my God, it's good shit, basically. And
Yeah.
I love
Next
these
episode, we'll do your other hyperfixation, which is Flux Buddies, even though no one here is gonna know about it.
No one else.
Really?
No one else
No,
knows
really?
about it.
No, we can't do
Wait, no one else knows about what?
Flux
Buddies?
Buddies.
Yep, never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a Minecraft Let's Play
Because
series.
me and Ninja are the only fans. I'm kidding. Oh my God, really? Are
Why
you
would you
serious?
dangle that in
No,
front
we're
of
not.
them?
We're not doing that. It was a goof.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Crying emoji. It's okay. Don't worry. We should have a Just Us episode.
We should have
There
a
you go.
just really obscure fandoms episode.
Oh
Oh
god.
my God, that'd be
Oh,
epic.
God.
You could do your favorite movie because it looks like only you.
I'm the
we
only
have-
one that knows what Kamikaze Girls is.
Wait, I
It's-
got it. The next episode where the guests bring in ideas, they have to bring in ideas for the most obscure piece of media that they love.
That's a problem with me, because like the most obscure would still probably be something that a lot of people have seen, but it's like,
I
Example?
don't really have anything obscure.
I don't know, like I don't know, like a Disney cartoon that only ran for like one season or whatever.
Yeah, you're assuming that, like,
My obscure fandom's my series.
Aki, what do you qualify as an obscure fandom for you?
Given I've been able to absolutely gobsmack almost everybody I've told about that one Sonic manga, that one.
here I thought you were gonna pull 9, because I don't know how many other people in the chat actually know that one.
I know
don't-
neither of those, so cool.
Kamikaze
know
Girls,
why
that sounds vaguely familiar.
What it
It sounds
is
like
it was a manga, and then it became a movie, and it's essentially about this one girl who's obsessed with Lolita fashion, ends up, she also makes bootleg things, so she makes a friend, from a girl gang, and
Okay, yeah, I've never heard of this.
they basically end up falling in love. Like, there is literally
Oh
all
my
these
God,
romantic... Yeah, there's
You,
romantic
like-
Japanese tropes.
I'm so excited.
It
I
is
want to watch
really...
this movie.
Yeah, I'll link you to it so you can watch it. It seems very much your kind of thing, Nami.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Kick ass. Thank you.
This is cool and all, but I feel like we have gone completely off the topic of the podcast, so shall we bow this out for the night?
Basically, how's balance good?
Well, it's gonna end up being a shorter episode.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Which is surprising
Perfect.
given we had the largest cast that we've had.
Well, that might
Largest
be
cast.
why.
I think that just makes it a lot more chaotic, and we're just like,
Yeah. So.
I can't wait to talk about The World Ends With You with everybody. There's my obscure one.
That's
Oh,
not
Flossie
obscure.
knows that one.
One of my friends is like one of my very old friends is super obsessed with it at one point. And when I was making one of my series, he kept trying to like compare stuff to stuff, and it was like, I don't know the series, but okay.
All right.
The one where we bring obscure stuff is just gonna be us explaining stuff.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a terrible idea, but
But
It'd be fun.
April Fools.
it'd be funny.
yeah, there you go. April Fools.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start doing sign-offs then.
Oh shit. Okay.
For this time, because I'm the person who starts the sign-offs because I'm the last person. Wait, no, fuck. Does Ninja go first on the sign-off?
No.
No.
Almost got my prompt right. This has been Clocky, who will someday get my
I believe
prompt
you.
right.
I'm Manny, and I am hot gluing more things right now, so good thing it didn't burn my fingers sooner.
I'm Nami or Mac, and I'm gonna plug my Twitter again at Nami Butch. Go follow me, please. I talk about gender.
Yeehaw.
I'm Chris. I am remaining anonymous for the moment.
And you're valid.
Yep.
Valid.
I make a webcomic that was reviewed, and you know what? And the person who reviewed it, they said they might be interested in seeing more of it in the future. So you know what? I think that's
Hey.
decent.
I'm terrified for
what
reviews
is
of
your
mine.
webcomic, Gage?
What is it? Yeah, you tell me, Ninja. What's my comic?
Key to Future's Fate.
Key to the Future's Fate.
Oh. Future Key Fate.
Yeah, Future Key Fate.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
My comic, Kingdom Hearts to the Fate
Mine is
Futures.
Cats and Dreams.
Dreamer Cats.
Fighting
Alright.
Kingdom Dreamer Hearts.
Warrior
Dude,
Cats.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
And I am Ninja. And this has been Everything is the Same Except. Tune in next week when we review Cat Warrior Kingdom Legend of Zelda.
Yes!
Yay.
My favorite series ever.
Alright. Bye.